was managing water vapor in cold climates with insulation and ventilation. Advantages of traditional vapor barrier versus CCSPF versus smart membrane. Basically the different options of some of the vapor barriers that are available, and also around windows and skylights. His current build is a timberline, but he plans to build others in the future. And the timberlines, I think, typically are not vented. Is that right, Dennis?
Yeah, that's right.
So, you know, and one of the newer things that have come out, I shouldn't say newer, but they're really gaining popularity is the ERVs, HRVs as well. But I think people are really starting to lean on the ERVs even more so, as they also kind of help maintain humidity as well as heat as they're transferring fresh air and your air from in the house. So do you want to kind of jump into that one, Dennis, a little bit?
Yeah. ERV is an energy recovery ventilator. We have a heat recovery ventilator in this dome. It basically takes outside air, brings it in, and ducts stale inside air out through a chamber. And that's one of the photos I was going to have tonight, but I don't have it. Through a chamber that is probably 2.5 feet by 2 feet high by 2 feet wide. It's a box with baffles inside. So the air doesn't mix, but it transfers heat. And that's why it's called a heat recovery ventilator. Mine, I believe, it's a recuperator, and I believe it's rated at about 84, 85% efficient. And that was from a little too early, 2005 when we bought that. So there's some ones right now that'll get up in the 90% efficiency. That is, they're going to recapture 90% of that heat, which would have been lost going out with that stale air. It's a small little, I mean, if you've got tendonitis or anything, you got a ear issue, you'll never hear it. So it's like a white noise in the background. So there's air coming in. So when you get up in the morning, when you're sleeping, it's fresh air coming into your house. It's lovely. We go away for a long weekend or something, come back. If that's been on, it's not like a house has been closed up. And actually, in the wintertime here, it's rare that we're going to open a window. Doors, maybe we're going to open up, but we don't have a lot of air transfer because this house is very tight. And that's all of our domes are that way. So the situation is that you've got to have fresh air. And that it have the outside air, which is drier, coming in. And that's going to help in the wintertime. You don't want, let's put it this way, you want to control your moisture inside the house. So that AirtoAir Exchanger is one of the ways to control it. If you're in a moist climate, you're going to bring in that moist air. You want an energy recovery ventilator, which takes the moisture out of the air when it's bringing it in. It grabs that moisture out and drains it out. So that's how you're going to keep this air in the wintertime drier. You're down south, you still need an AirtoAir Exchanger. You can't assume this is only for cold climate. It isn't. So you design this for your climate zone. We've got somebody from Alaska, we got somebody from Texas. They both need AirtoAir Exchangers, but the situation is a little bit different as to what air you're bringing in. So there's moist air down there. Now the comment, I know I looked at this before, it's from Anchorage. You've got salt air. You don't want that coming into your house. So you have this AirtoAir Exchanger that's going to take that humidity out of the house. Along with it is this salt that's in the air, because that's the air that's drying out. There are other ways from the standpoint, we've got radiant floor heating here. That's going to be drier than if you're introducing a system that has more moisture in the air, or you've got the brand name is one of those is April Air. If you got a forced air system and you've got April Air, which is adding humidity. Later on, you may need to do that because your house is drying out. Early on, the first 3 to 5 years, you don't want to. There's too much moisture. You need some airflow. We have a fan up on the ceiling here at the very top inside the cupola that we can set so it's blowing air down. This house is dry enough that we don't have moisture accumulating on the windows anymore, is what I'm going to say. All new construction, all new houses are going to have moisture on the windows because that's the coldest surface temperature. You can go to triple pane windows, which is what we have here. I'm pointing over here and not showing you. So we've got these triangle windows, which are triple pane. The windows below in the riser wall are Marvin windows, and those are triple pane also. One of these, I think it's the one right here, is double pane. I happen to have that size. It was sitting in the shop. We needed an extra window, so we just used that. You can feel the difference. Put your hand on that pane, put your hand on this pane, and you can feel the difference in the surface temperature. So now it's still the coldest surface temperature, but it's not as cold. So that's the other way with condensation issues that you want to deal with it. And triple pane windows with our triangle skylights, they're pricier, but the Marvin windows, conventional windows, are less pricey. There's still a upcharge for that. We do have a quad window in our older dome that we have next to the office. It was built in '75. And we did with the glass company, made a quad pane window, 2 hexagon windows in the bathroom. I've never had an issue on a 4 pane window with 3/4 inch air spaces in each one. So that's another way to do it. Segregate the room. You got a bathroom, put in triple pane or 4 pane. You know, it's very doable. It's a matter of how you order that glass. So all of this is a long, long discussion on things. And you're going to have a situation where we're going to help you along with that. The latest technology deals with dew points. You got to know the dew point of your wall. Well, that's a matter of what you use in that wall. You need insulation to keep this place a constant, even temperature. We don't turn the radiant floor down when we go. We don't turn it down at night. We don't turn it away like we're going to go away to the cabin and we go, well, let's turn the heat down. We don't do that. This mass of floor that we have, concrete floor, stays the same temperature from when we turn it on in October to when we turn it off. Well, I joke, but sometime in June, you know, here in Minnesota. And it really is, you know, this is 3,200 square feet of space, 2,100 square feet down here, and that's the concrete slab, 2,100 square feet. We've insulated below the slab. You want 4 inches of foam insulation below that slab. We've got the stuff. You can go on Bear Creek Dome on our website and you'll see the data. You'll see the stats on all that. We've got a sample in the middle here. There's 16 square feet. It's got 1 inch, 2 inch, and 4 inch insulation, along with bubble wrap and Mylar faced bubble wrap, which are horrible. They don't do anything. So we've done the testing. It's there, it's online. You can see the results. The fact that we're heating this house constant all winter long, and we're talking about an average of $530 a year, not a month. So, you know, this is what you want to have. You want to have a comfortable house, even temperature, and a very low cost. We have natural gas, which is cheaper than propane and cheaper than electric, but it's still going to be cheaper. It's going to be half the cost of what a well-insulated brand new house is. Derek, you wanted to add some?
Well, I was going